After the success of the first list of the top 5 hardest levels of Crash 1, which first of all if you have not seen go watch it, link in the description below, I thought it's time to hit the sequel next. Now I view Crash 2 as the best game in the original trilogy. While most think 3 is better, I feel like Crash 2 introduced more mechanics that became staples in the series. Sure, the boss power-ups were awesome in Crash 3, but Crash 2 introduced the warp room and the slide and belly flop, which are all going to be used in way more games in the future. Also, Crash's control has been improved a lot more fluent, not as stiff as Crash 1, and the level design is also vastly improved. It doesn't drag on, it's difficult, but you're not spending like 15 minutes on one level. Once again, I'm going to be using the Insane Trilogy for footage, as it's the best way to play the original 3 Crash games, and of course, if there's a level you feel like should be on the list, tell me in the comments below. I am Cybershroom with the top 5 hardest levels of Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. Number 5. Gonna say this now, and most of you are going to disagree, but I don't like the animal levels in Crash games. The Hog, Polar, and Purah, they all suck. They really do. The Hog in Crash 1 was okay. It was stiff to control, and jumping mid-air was a pain, but hey, there was only one level that was required to beat the game. Polar, however, has 4 mandatory levels. Really? 4 of these? Well, I give the game developers credit, they tried to improve Polar's controls. They're still not good, but they're bearable. See what I did there? Well, the game developer certainly knows, because all the level titles are puns. And all the levels are frickin' fast. That is right, not only do you get a button to go faster, but levels are designed around you using that speed up button. Sure, in Crash 1 you're moving from side to side and occasionally jumping over a pig or on a bongo. In Crash 2, you move from left and right, dashing across ice, crawling under men with ice blocks, jumping over killer whales. And did I mention that there are TNT and nitro crates everywhere? Christ. And the speed of Polar, you're going at an insane speed. You're going to have a heart attack in the later levels. Now here's a secret for Bear Down. After beating the level, do not go for the goal. Instead, jump in these platforms in the water to access a special warp room. And hey, at least Polar and the Hog is not as bad as Purah. Believe me, I'm going to get to Purah in the future. Number 4. Just like my feelings on the animal levels, the ice levels in Crash games are not good. Future games will have perfect ice movement, but especially in Insane Trilogy, it's bad for some reason, I have no clue why. Like you step on the ice and you become a slippery tank. The 2D sections, I love the fact that you can't control crap, because you're going to be having to force yourself to slide across on these pillars that really come down way too fast compared to how you're moving. Speaking of, more enemies! They're everywhere, and they have the crappiest placement. I mean, look at these penguins. Crash 2 made me hate penguins. I used to love penguins, they were my favorite bird. Cold Hard Crash also has these random sections of hidden boxes, so if you're like me and trying to 100% complete it, going after these gems, it's gonna be freaking hard. I have to agree if some call me Johnny that Cold Hard Crash is one of the worst levels in the series, not only for the difficulty, but with so much crap like the ice, the bad enemy placement, and the stupid, crushing pillars. Number 3. Behold, the true final boss, featuring somehow worse controls in the animal levels, worse than the ice levels. Behold, jetpack levels. Oh god, these levels are bad, like, oh my god. Now when Crash 2 came out, they advertised the crap out of the jetpack. This will become the future of Crash Bandicoot. Not only does it fail in controls, but in concept it fails. It's floaty. Like imagine a water level, but swimming is terrible. If you pass a crate, good luck trying to turn back and go get it. Pack Attack and a few other levels too have these lovely enemy placements, such as red tubes of death and floaty arm inflatable tube man arms. If you're in the path, you ain't gonna be able to turn away because the game's still gonna force you right into them and they're gonna shock you, believe me. They even use the jetpack as the final boss. And wow, if you thought Crash Bandicoot bosses were easy, just witness the whole boss fight unedited. Number 2.
If it isn't...
What is that? What is that? What is it? Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Open my eyes!
Memes aside, I hate these bees. They chase you and they can sting you. It's possible to kill them, but I can never do it. And boy, they are fast. It does not help that the level has a death route, meaning that you have to backtrack. And backtracking is crappy in Crash games because the camera does not compensate for it, meaning that you ain't gonna be able to see the uncommon bees, meaning that you're gonna get stung more. You will die a lot, and I mean a lot. Really, the only reason this level is on the list because these stupid bees. I've died more times on this compared to any other level. It's really hard to talk about because really it's just the bees are the problem. However, let's just move on to number 1. Number 1 of the top 5 hardest levels of Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. Castle Machinery, is that you? This level really does feel like Castle Machinery 2.0. The level is mainly 2D with small 3D portions. The enemies are really something though. These little robotic squids can screw off. But jokes and memes of the hitboxes are true because of these stupid squids. The placement for them are under pistons that could crush you, under nitro boxes, between nitro boxes, above nitro boxes. Really, you cannot do time trials on this level because you're going to have to sit there and wait for them to raise their tentacles, or you're going to risk jumping over them, and the game will think that you touched them even though you clearly didn't. Mostly all these levels on this list that's just because of poor enemy placement, but I still believe it's better than Crash 1, and here is why. Now while Crash 2 has hard levels, it still is not compared to Crash 1, and I view that as an improvement. Level design in Crash 1, in my opinion, is borderline trash, with some levels like Lights Out, The High Road, and Stormy Ascent being trial and error levels. Some levels were also really too long for their own good. Sure, there was some decent length, but most of the levels drove on for too long. I'm guessing because to extend gameplay, they wanted to give you game overs more. Crash 2, however, does not drag out its level design. All levels are at appropriate length, and while some are hard, it's best to be short and face it all at once rather than have difficulty spread out for too long. That, once again, that's just my opinion. Well guys, that was my top 5 hardest levels of Crash 2. Is there a level I missed? Tell me in the comments below. It was kinda hard to explain some levels as I did not want to repeat my points in Crash 1, but I felt I did a decent job explaining them. Now when's Crash 3 you say? Sadly, it's gonna be a long while to the next video, as school is coming up soon, summer is ending, but I want to take the month of August to celebrate a certain blue blur. Well, wait till the next video by subscribing if you're new. As always, I am Cybershoom and I hope you have a good one.